Welcome back, everybody, to 31 2000s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from 2000 to 2009. So, at the number 25 spot, we have a fun, gory little monster movie here, and that is Feast.
I can't see a thing.
So, Feast is an interesting movie. Back in the day, Feast came out in 2005, and back in the day, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon had started this sort of reality TV show called Project Greenlight, where they tried to help people make an independent movie. Now, the first movies that they made during the season didn't go anywhere, so for one of the seasons they decided to make a horror movie, or help other people make a horror movie. They helped produce it, but they let independent filmmakers make the movie, and Feast was the movie they made. And Feast is an awesome little monster movie that sort of has Evil Dead feels to it, but not like full-on Evil Dead feels, but it's bottom line, it's just a fun, gory monster movie.
They like food that moves.
The movie takes place in this bar in the middle of this desert area, and you have all these different characters there. It is a bit of a rundown bar, and what I love about it is that the movie opens with, like, the characters and, like, their status and their likelihood of living to the end of the movie. It's a fun little detail that just gets you pumped for what kind of movie you're in. It shows you that, okay, this movie is just meant to be a fun, gory ride.
Asshole! Bozo!
And what's even funnier about that is, even though they give the stats and their likelihood of survival, it doesn't go that way. The movie doesn't go the way you think it is. So it's like people who it may seem like they're going to survive, or their status is they're going to survive, end up not survive. It's wacky. Some people may survive, some people may not survive, but it's just a fun little way to start the movie. But yeah, it takes place in this bar, and this guy suddenly busts into the bar, and he's holding the head of this monster, and he's telling everybody they're coming, lock the doors and stuff, and he's telling everyone to batten down the hatches. And here comes one of my favorite parts of the movie. So this guy, he's supposed to be our badass of the film. Like, this is the guy who's going to save the day and everything's going to go on. This is going to be our leader. He's going to be our badass. He's going to be the one we watch to kick a lot of ass. And what's funny is, like, this is not a spoiler. This is like the opening of the movie. The guy flat out says, "I'm the guy who's going to save your ass." Then one of the monsters busts through the window, pulls him out, and rips his head off.
I'm the guy that's gonna save your ass.
That's our first kill of the movie. The first kill of this movie is the guy who we think is going to be our hero. But then his wife or girlfriend comes in, and then she takes on the badass role. And so the whole movie is these people are battening down the hatches in this bar while this clan of monsters is trying to break into the bar. And that's it. It's a very simple premise executed perfectly. People locked up in a bar being attacked by monsters. But yeah, the fact that that big badass character is the very first one to die, and the fact that he dies so violently shows you what you're in for. It's like, okay, this is not going to be as predictable as we think it's going to be. Everything that we think is going to happen, throw that out the window. We're just going to be in for a gory time. And this movie does have some interesting turns in the plot. There's no real twists here. This is not a movie made with twists and turns. But there are some interesting plot developments that you don't see coming. But all in all, yeah, this movie's just fun. That's the first thing you can say about it. It's just a fun little monster movie. It embraces the gore. It embraces... There is a wackiness to it, but it never gets too far. And these monsters are great. It does a good job at not showing them all, like, fully until closer to the end of the movie. But most of the time they're wearing these interesting robes and stuff like that. And we know they're monsters because they're not human in any way, shape, or form. These creatures are they're so twisted and vile, but in the most fun way. These monsters will do one of three things. They will kill you, they will fuck you, then kill you, or they will kill you, then fuck you. That's one of the things. They have these, I won't show it here, but they have these big, massive dicks that they got flopping around. I mean, these creatures are just like, they're awesome. They're just awesome, fun, sadistic monsters. Something that I always talk about is movies taking advantage of their idea, and Feast takes full advantage of its idea. It's a very simple idea, but it takes full advantage of that. And the characters are fun to watch. There are people who are assholes that you hope die, but there are characters you are rooting for one reason or another. There's one character who comes off like he's going to be a prick early on in the movie, but he redeems himself as the film goes on, and he becomes a character that we want to root for as we get into the climax. And the climax is very good. I mean, the only reason this movie is this low on the list, it would have been much higher on the list if it were not for the shaky cam.
God damn you!
I don't like shaky cam. I am very, very against shaky cam. There are ways to do shaky cam well, but the way you do shaky cam properly is when, yeah, there's some shaking going on, but you can still see what's going on. Luckily, you can make out enough of it, but what's really disappointing about shaky cam, most of the time shaky cam is used to hide bad effects. You know, like if the effects are on the cheaper side and they don't want you to see it, they'll shake the camera so you don't notice them more. But you can tell what's really a shame about it is in Feast you can tell that the practical effects are great. You can tell that the practical effects are very well done. These monsters look great. So why shake the camera so we can't see them? You can tell that they put a lot of work into these practical effects. Why shake the camera so much so that we can't see these effects? But as it is, even with the shaky cam, this is a fun movie that I can recommend anybody check out for Halloween. If you're a horror fan and you like good monster movies, you want some fun gore, that's one of the differences between Feast and a lot of the movies I talked about. In a lot of the movies I've talked about, the gore is like hard-hitting and gut-punching, but in Feast, the gore is fun. And sometimes you want fun gore. You know, sometimes you want hard-hitting gore, but sometimes you want fun gore. And Halloween is a perfect time for fun gore. So, I think Feast is a perfect horror movie with friends. Get together with a bunch of friends and watch this movie. I know you'll have a good time. So, yeah, Feast. It does have shaky cam, which does hurt it, but despite the shaky cam, it is a fun monster movie, well worth your time for Halloween. I say watch it. It's a blast.